Looking ahead, 2014, it's a new year, and for businesses out there, it's a time for you to set goals and map up strategies on how to accomplish them. And today on the program, we'll be looking at ways in which you can accomplish your goals, especially for those small and medium-scale enterprises in the country. And to look at this topic with us on the program are two men. We have here in the studio Joel Osebor. He is a business development expert, and Edward Esene, also a business development expert. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you very much. And Happy New Year.
Same to you. We do appreciate your time with us on the program. Now, how important is goal setting and planning to an SME owner? I'm going to start with Joel. Okay. For a small business owner out there who is a new year and everyone wants to roll out resolutions. I'm sure you have some resolutions as well. Now, for a small business owner, how important do you think setting goals is?
I'll say for a small business owner, setting goals for his or her business or for your business is life itself. It's life itself, because goal setting will determine how far you go in terms of reaching out to your customers, and in terms of the kind of money you want to make for that year. And so you can't rule it out in terms of you achieving your desired goals as an SME. You need to set goals. It creates that direction that you need for your business, and it helps you to measure yourself against your performance. Because as a business person, as a small business, if you don't set goals, you can't determine how far you're going. You as a business person, you want to know, am I on the right track? Am I meeting my turnovers? Am I reaching out to my customers? Am I equipping myself with the right skills that I need to develop my businesses? If you don't set goals, you will not be able to answer some of these questions, some of these issues that I've raised. So it's important that not just for a small business, like you said, even for the big multinationals, it's important to set goals. It creates that direction. It creates that focus you need to measure yourself against by the end of the year.
Okay, let me go to Edward.
Okay.
When you want to set goals, what should you consider?
Goal setting, if you're looking at setting up a goal as a business person, it's good you look at, first of all, where am I coming from? There must be a basis. How did I get to this point? Do you understand? So where am I going to? So those are the two important, information that we need to bring to the table. Where am I coming from? How did I get here? Then where am I going to? Do you understand? So if we have those, let me use those three parameters now. Where was I coming from? How did I get here? Then where is my desired destination? Where am I going towards? Then we can now start looking at goal setting. Then you will now break that down into areas. I desire more results. Areas where I need to get better results. It could be in my finance, it could be in my operations, it could be in my people. So then again, we look at how far have we been faring in the past, what's our current situation, then how do we get to our new destination. Those are some of the things we look at when setting goals.
And just to add to what Edward has said, it's important that for a business person, whether you're existing or you want to go into business, because it also applies to people who wants to start up the business, there are key fundamentals we always look at when we look at the issue of goal setting. You want to really know what your potentials are. You want to know what are your opportunities, what are your abilities, because they form the fulcrum, they form the foundation to which or by which you can set goals. When you look at that, the next thing you want to look at is your vision. Why are you in business? What is that business set to achieve? Once you're able to, what your potentials are, you know what your opportunities are, you know what your abilities are, you know why you're going to business, you know why the customers you want to serve, then the next thing that comes is, how do I achieve those visions? How do I maximize my potentials and opportunities? Then goal setting now comes into place. Putting up strategic plans to achieve all of those stuff.
Okay, let us stick to Joel. I just want to ask you that statistics have it that a lot of businesses failed up in the first 5 years of existence. Okay. Now, could that be as a result of the fact that they didn't plan well at the beginning of the business?
Not really. They planned well, but perhaps some of them could have been as a result of what we call staying power. Because one thing about goal setting is this: you can have very good, audacious goals, good dreams, good passion that you want to achieve in your business. You set plans, you make resolutions, but the truth is, we found that over time, even in terms of the statistics you talked about, it was carried out in America. 13% of people were, they were asked questions about goal setting. They wanted to know people who really set goals for themselves and for their business. Out of this 13%, only 3%, that's what we call the 3%, only 3% of people actually set their goals and truly write it down. The other 10%, they just, okay, I want to achieve this, but they did not write it down. So we found that over time, even if you have goals, if you have dreams and aspiration, if you don't have that discipline to put it down, you can't determine how far you're going.
Okay, Edward. Sorry, I'm going to cut you short there just for a little bit. Writing it down, let's take it from where it stopped.
Okay.
How does that impact or influence your ability to achieve your goals?
Writing it down, it's as simple as it sounds, it actually can also be very difficult, because writing in itself, it's an intellectual discourse. And a lot of us here, we are not used to writing. We don't want to write. And the difference between a goal and a wish, if you say, I want to achieve X, I want to make more money this year, or not until the point you pen it down, it is just a wish, not yet a goal. But if you are taking that discipline to pen it down, put it in black and white, then you are now taking conscious efforts towards making it happen. Now, when you put it down, it forms a basis of reminder. You now know awareness, which can spur you up, which can help you, start making plans towards achieving that.
Okay, now, Joel, you talked about staying power earlier on. I'm just wondering, how do you develop the staying power in business? If you just start on a business and maybe you have been in it for 2 years and it's like, oh, it seems I'm getting tired of this. Now, how do you keep that staying power and ensure that you don't go down in it?
Okay, what sustains your staying power first is you need to look within. Why did I start this business? The truth, if you start a business for self-fulfillment alone, then staying power might not be there. But if the purpose why you started that business is for the good of all, because that's where real wealth comes from. When you start up a business to reach out to a lot of people, to solve problems, to bring solutions to people's challenges, to add value to people, then no matter the challenges you face, there's just something within you that tells you, look, this cause that I'm on, this trip that I'm on, this business that I'm building, I just can't fail. Then you need to look also, what are you doing right? What are you not doing right? Because sometimes you can be on a journey and the level of information you had when you started that journey is not sufficient to take you to the next phase. So it's important that as an SME, you keep researching out information that can give you that leverage to the next level in your business. So what sustains your staying power is your exposure to information, your exposure to networking, your exposure to other people in your industry. As you keep doing that, and when you have mentors in business, and there are other organizations you want to benchmark yourself against, once all of those fundamentals are in place, you find out that somebody else is doing this and succeeding. I can also do it and succeed in it. Then, but like I said from the beginning, the purpose why you started that business, why you're in business, will be a strong enough staying power to take you through any stormy moment you face.
Okay, what add?
Let me just quickly add, staying power, yes, you have to come from within, just according to what Joel said. But again, like he also said, you have to have a mentor. The period when I almost closed down shop, locked down my business, run away to the blues, my staying power increased when I started having access to mentors and listening to them. There is no temptation that is overtaking you that is not common to men. A lot of people go through the same challenges, so if you know that and you have somebody to, help you or talk to you or encourage you, it makes you stay. And the longer you stay as an SME, as an entrepreneur, that break-even point just come, that tipping point just come. One of the reasons again that increased my staying power, in all fairness, was shame. I couldn't just take it that, you started a business and 3 years down the line, Kinetic is nowhere to be found. Like, Edward, where are you? So all the people that had issues in my business that I wanted to run away, I just thought that, whoa, people say I'm a gunner, it's over. Just that. So that shame, that failure, I have to sit down here and make it work.
But then just to quickly keeping on that, in trying to tie it into goal setting, you know, there are different acronyms that have been played out in terms of you setting your goals for your business or setting the personal goals. When you set goals that we want to say smart goals, you set goals that are achievable, goals that are realizable, goals that you can measure, goals that are time bound, then there's this courage. Even great men that we have today, and one secret every SME, I think a lot of them know, and some should know, is this: the most successful businesses that are existing today, the things that they failed in is more than what they succeeded in. If we come to understand
Talking
that,
about failing to succeed, I'm just going to ask you, because for everybody, we're going to go on a break very shortly, but just to ask you this question, that for many business owners, whether you're small or big business owner, at a point in time you had failed, maybe some of your policies didn't come out right, or some of the products didn't turn out to be what it's expected to be. How do you make the correction and make the U-turn, you know, to where you ought to be? I would like Edward to actually come into this.
In all fairness, I've come to a stage where I see failure as a feedback. Painful as it is, yes, you must have lost money, you may not have gotten a desired result, but every failure as it is a feedback. The same thing in goal setting. You know, one thing about goals is that when you set a goal, like I want to make 3 million in a quarter, the deadline issue, time bound, a lot of people don't want to put that because how about if I don't make it in March? So you are kind of scared. But how about if you make it in March? But how about if I make 100,000 in March? So I have not made 2.9. So I will now take back that short gap as a feedback into my next input and planning to become better.